So if you're someone who's looking for love, trying to find that connection, there are actually 3 mistakes that you might be making. A lot of people make these and they don't realize they're doing it. So I want to highlight those today, and I want to give you 5 actionable steps that you can take to shift that dynamic in your mind, because a lot of this stuff is running subconsciously and we don't even realize it. So I'm just kind of throwing this together last minute as I'm in my office just preparing for a client to come in soon. So I'll try to make it fairly quick. If you're new here, I'm Ketra Thompson, and I hope that you find this content to be something that you can use practically in your life, and that will also give you some insight into why you're behaving the way you do. So if you'd like to learn more about what I do, you can check out the link in the description below. All the information's there on my website, and you can also set up a complimentary consultation call so that we can chat and I can really get a good feel for what you're dealing with, and I can give you my best recommendations. So you'll want to check that out. Okay, so it can be really frustrating. And I'm not here to say that you shouldn't need someone to help create a more fulfilling life for you. We all do. We are human and we need connection, regular, deep, authentic connection. It's how we're wired. But sometimes the way we go about it can actually mess up the process. So the first thing that you really want to look at is if you're looking for validation in someone else. Now, we might not realize that we are looking for that. If we just really want a relationship, then we think that's what we're looking for. But if we step back a bit, we might realize that we're looking for this validation, that we want someone else to prove to us that we're lovable, that we're worthy, that we can be chosen, that we're good enough. And so if that is the case where we think, the clock is ticking, I have to find someone, if there's any of that panicky feeling underneath that, there might be some of that desire for getting validation from someone else. And if that's the case, you don't want to go down that path. So I'm going to list the things that don't work, and then we're going to dive into the things you can do about it. Now, the second part of that you might not realize is that in wanting their validation, you also feel like that person is going to fulfill you. They're going to be the missing piece. And once you have them, everything's going to get better. Everything's going to flow better. Life is going to be good. But there is no missing piece. You're putting your focus externally. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And the third piece of this that is probably keeping you back is thinking that when you're with this person, you're going to finally be able to show up as your best self. You're going to finally be able to have that full expression of love for yourself and for the world around you, and a place to pour that love into. And all of these these thoughts, they're keeping you stuck in a place of external focus and sort of a neediness of needing to find that person. And that can lead to doing it in ways that aren't actually really effective for you. So the first place that people tend to do this is superficially. They really pay attention to their superficial looks. Now, don't get me wrong. We want to look nice. We want to feel our best and feel proud of how we look. But if all of your focus is on your body and your looks and your sexuality and all of that, then that is going to attract the wrong type of person, because all you're projecting to the world is this superficial part of you. This part of you that says, hey, my value is just in these things. Look at these things. And the people who only want to look for those things are the ones who are going to value you. Now, you want to be able to look good. You want to be able to be attractive. Let's be honest. We're humans. We are attracted to each other in a chemistry way. But if that's the only thing you're projecting, that's a big problem. And so if that is the case, then you have got to go deep. You've got to go deep within yourself and start doing work that makes you interesting on another level. You have to have new things to talk about. You have to maybe read a book that you wouldn't normally read, something nonfiction, something interesting, something that you could talk about that's intriguing. That will create some more depth. Now, the other part of this is you've got to fill up your life. You've got to really love your life. You've got to like who you are. You've got to like where you're at. You've got to feel proud of yourself and the actions you're taking. Now, that doesn't mean you have to have everything in order or you have to have it all figured out. You might be out of work and still be able to really love and respect yourself, feel confident that you're moving in the right direction, shifting gears, whatever that is. But if that kind of derails you and defines you, you might not be in the right place. So you really need to fulfill your life by filling it up with things you feel proud of, goals that you have. You're striving to become XYZ, you're changing careers, you're going back to school, here's your focus, you're creating a space that you live in that feels safe and warm and comfortable to you and is reflective of the place that you're wanting to be in life. So even the way that you have things in your home, if it's in disarray, if it's in disorder, if it's not something you feel proud of, start there. You always start with you, inside of you, and the external environment that you're creating around you. Start to look at, is this how I want my life to look, my home to look, how I want to represent myself to the world? Do I have my shit together? Get honest. You're not going to be perfect. You're human. But you do need to work on what are your goals? What's the path you're headed on? What are you passionate about? What do you do for fun? What kind of life are you building? And all of that feeds into your own self-worth. So having your own sense of self-worth is something that emanates out from you when you meet people, and it changes the dynamic of the kind of people that you're connecting with. So I really want you to remember that you're going to wake up as you wherever you are. You could be in a new city, you could be in a new country, you could be with a new person. You're still going to wake up as you. And I promise you that that person isn't going to make you happy and fulfilled instantaneously just because you're waking up next to them. You are going to have to be good with who you are. You're going to have to feel proud of who you are. You are going to need to shift that focus to you and taking good care of you. Because there's a part of our minds sometimes that I really think happens in childhood where we expect others to take care of us because they did, because they had to. We've got to get to that point where we realize other people aren't going to take care of me. And even if they do, there's going to be such a power dynamic and imbalance in power that they're going to lose respect for you. So you need to realize that you are the only one that can save you. You are the only one that can take care of you. And when you realize that, then you really can wake up anywhere with anyone and you can still be secure in yourself. So basically, I know I can wake up anywhere and be happy. Doesn't mean I don't have bad days. Doesn't mean I don't have frustrations. I can be happy because I'm happy with me. I like who I am. I'm proud of who I am. I've been reflective about my accomplishments in life and seen that even when things totally derailed me, I got through it. I resourced myself. All those truths about you are what you need to focus on so that you can wake up happy anywhere. So part of that is shifting your focus to appreciation. Start appreciating what is working in your life because 10 things might be working for you and one thing might not be working well. And you're hyper-focused on the one thing that's not. And so what you're focusing on gets bigger. That's the next part. What you focus on gets bigger. So you've got to be really strategic about what you focus on and notice what's working for you in the moment. And that happens with appreciation. And I like the word appreciation so much more than the word gratitude or grateful. Because I don't know, to me, gratitude feels like it's supposed to be about something really big, a huge accomplishment. And appreciation can be anything. It can be, how soft your shirt is, that you appreciate you have that you appreciate the fuzzy blankets on your bed, that you appreciate the people in your life, the activities that you're doing right here and now in the present moment. That's really, really important if you're going to shift your focus. Because when you're looking into the past, when you're looking into the future, when you're thinking you can't be happy until XYZ happens, until this person shows up, you're missing out on right now. And right now is all you have. And the reason we do this is all because of our subconscious programming. Now, our subconscious mind is running over 95% of everything we think, feel, and do. And when we programmed it, we were pretty young. We weren't using discernment. We were making huge assumptions about our life experiences that weren't accurate. And they were happening in the smallest, most insignificant moments that you probably don't even recall. But they were writing this blueprint in your subconscious mind. And now that blueprint has been playing like a record in the background of your mind. It is driving the feelings. It's driving the behaviors. It's driving this neediness in you. And once you reframe that subconscious, everything changes. And that's what I do with my clients is I help them reach this point of confident connection through reprogramming that subconscious programming in the hypnotherapy process and then adding to it additional relationship and mind coaching so that you have all the support that you need to really reach your goals, to feel good about yourself. Because in reality, we attract what we are. We attract what we have poured into ourselves. And so if you're thinking that you need someone else to help you get along in life, to fulfill you, then you're going to attract someone who's needy in a different way. And that sets you up for an unhealthy dynamic, a codependent dynamic. Instead, what you want to attract is someone who's also self-sufficient, who also has their goals, who also knows how to care well for themselves, because when they're meeting their own needs, they can much more easily meet the needs of the relationship. So there's you, there's them, and then the crossover is the relationship. And you both have to be in a place of really feeling like you're connected to your self-worth to allow yourself to have that interdependence and actually connect in a way that's healthy, that's sustaining, and that doesn't require the other person to constantly meet your needs, constantly keep you entertained. And this is where it can be confusing because you think, well, I don't want to feel alone and be with someone who ignores me, and I don't want to be hyper independent, and I want this connection. And you can want and have all of those things. Interdependence is relying on each other, but it's relying on each other from a place of stability that's been created before that relying on each other happens. So the stability in yourself and in the little world that you create for yourself is really, really important. So today, you can start. I would say the first place to start, the easiest place to start is to shift your focus to appreciation. Little tiny things. I appreciate that the sun's out, even though it's freezing cold, because it is where I'm at right now. It's cold, but it's sunny. And the sunrise was gorgeous this morning. Little tiny things. Start focusing on that right here, right now, in this moment. When you feel your mind drifting off into past, future, redirect it to right here and right now. Feel the feeling of your surroundings. Like I can feel the leather on the chair I'm sitting in. I can smell the air. I can bring my attention to the colors I see. I can even touch my own body and get out of my head and into my body by that sensation, because we're a whole being. Get out of that thought process and go, oh yeah, I have a body. So we want to refocus our attention in the present moment. Once you're able to do that, then start looking at your life and saying, what are my highest values? What do I want in this life, regardless of someone else? Take them out of the equation and get honest with yourself. Start moving toward what you want. Don't take huge steps. Don't try to accomplish everything. Just the tiniest little calibration of meeting your own needs in a better way will help you get more tuned in. Set some goals. Ask yourself what's missing. Start doing that deeper internal work. Read something interesting or inspiring so that when you meet these people, you have something interesting to talk about. You're not just talking about gossipy crap or celebrities or politics or whatever. Talk about something deeper, something that means something to you, something you're excited about learning. And when you do that, you'll be like a breath of fresh air to other people because you'll actually know something. You'll actually be cultivating your own depth and self-worth. And as you do that, you become more happy in your own life so that you can get to that point where you have that self-worth and realize that you can be anywhere with anyone and you can wake up happy. You can wake up shifting your focus every single day to the things that feel good, that you're grateful for, that you appreciate. And that changes your life. These small micro habits change your life and create much more attraction with the people around you. So think about how you're showing up. Think about if you're just being superficial, if you're just flaunting the beautiful things about your body, and dial it back. You can have a beautiful body. You can have a beautiful face. You can be lovely in every way. And you can also couple that with some things that create the image of more self-respect, right? Don't make it just about that. So if you want to get some help to really reframe these things subconsciously, to get to the heart of what's driving these feelings and these behaviors that you keep trying to change, but they just keep coming back. Set up that consultation call, because shifting this on a subconscious level is a game changer. It changes everything about the way you show up in the world, about how you feel about yourself, about your own self-acceptance. And when you do that, you shine so brightly. So I hope this was helpful for you. And until next time, I hope you curate a life by your own design.